Hey everybody, this is Silverware, and today I'm dishing on. So, 31 years ago, I had a random game put into my collection of random NES cartridges. It was a game about a lone bounty hunter taking on an entire planet by himself. When I was finally able to take down Mother Brain, I was greeted with an ending sequence that showed my lone bounty hunter standing triumphant on the planet's surface. Then his suit powered down, and I realized that he was a she all along. That, with a long and challenging romp through the planet Zebus, made me a Metroid fan for life. Which is why I'm so excited to talk about the upcoming release of Metroid Dread. I typically like to go dark on a game once I've decided that I'm gonna play it once it releases. However, I can't stop watching trailers and reading the Nintendo's newsletters about this title. So, what I found so far is that it's a continuation, also the ending of a story arc that's been laid out starting with the first Metroid game and ending in Fusion. First thing that came to mind for me is that does that mean that there will be no more Metroids? I'm sure this isn't Samus's last adventure, but what happens to the Metroid title if that's the case? Either way, this makes me even more hype, and I'm excited to see how it all ends. I did notice some cool new moves that Samus has from the trailer. However, it's the new enemies that really stood out to me the most. I won't go into the details of Metroid lore right now because it's been done already, but most Metroid fans will recognize the new enemies as Chozo. My first question was, are these statues? Because they're all gray. Then I noticed that they have an arm cannon the same as Samus. Now, Samus's power armor does come from the Chozo, but why are these Chozo hostile to Samus? Even if they are unfamiliar with Samus, the Chozo species was supposed to be a benevolent and kind species. They wanted to spread life, not destroy it. Although they did create few powerful weapons, along with Samus's power suit. It was also stated that the X-Parasite from Metroid Fusion is involved in some way. Spoilers for Metroid Fusion incoming. The X-Parasite, to me, is kind of like the Thing. It invades a host and copies everything about it. Its memories, its likeness, does away with the remains in some way. The SAX even turns into a grotesque thing-like monster at the end of Metroid Fusion, after taking a good amount of damage. The main enemy of Fusion was the X, and Dread, as far as we know, there's Chozo, the X, also Emmy, which is a robot drone sent in to investigate the planet by the Galactic Federation. This also means that the Federation is another possible enemy for Samus, since I'm sure they're not happy with Samus destroying their entire research station. The title Dread also stands out to me. Of course, you see Samus being chased by Emmy in the clips. I'm thinking about the X, though. With them being the prime enemy in Fusion, they were not as scary as I feel they were really meant to be. Fusion gives off this feeling that it was supposed to have some type of, terror involved. But since it was on the Game Boy Advance, they really don't pull that off, even though the SAX kind of, is imposing. I also want to touch on the Chozo statues or the Chozo beings, because you see some of the writing on the wall, and that's been pointed out before. You've seen the Chozo markings before in Metroid Prime and also in Metroid Zero Mission. But these also have arm cannons the same way Samus does. So I'm thinking, are these like the previous warriors? Because Samus was a chosen warrior. And are these the previous champions? Did they turn evil? Are they infected by X? So many questions. In the development video, Sakamoto did mention that Metroid Dread was an idea that they had for quite some time, but had to wait for the technology to catch up. I remember people mentioning some time ago about how the name Dread or Metroid Dread was copyrighted by Nintendo. Copywritten? Whatever. I'm super excited, and I don't want to pick the game apart too much. I still want there to be some surprises. Anyway, that's all I have to dish on about Metroid Dread. Like my videos, subscribe if you want to see more. Put something in the comments, whether you like it or not. I'm out. Peace.